Yes guys, what's going on? Nawfabz here. Don't forget to check out all the other videos, part 5, part 6, part 7, some exciting stuff in all of those episodes. Now today, I'm going to show you the biggest failure ever I've probably had in my entire career. Welcome to part 8. So guys, in today's episode we are going to be tackling the hydraulic clutch. Now I have been putting this off for so long just because I've looked at it and looked at it and looked at it and I just cannot see any easy way of doing it. Now in this episode I made a massive error of judgment. Actually quite embarrassing for me to show you this, but you know what, sod it, I'm going to show you guys the failures. It's not always about the wins. I could have just deleted all these episodes and I could have just showed you the win what I will get. Believe me, I will get it. But no, this is a build series. I'm committed to showing you all the wins and all the fails, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Stay tuned, watch this episode, and see if you can spot my massive, massive failure I did in this. Alright. We are proper down on the lights at the minute, so I'm going to have to use my phone light like a scrubber. But, yeah, this is not comfortable at all. So what holds this clutch pedal in? There's one bolt there, one bolt there. Oh god, it looks like all column assembly bolts to it and all sorts. Ugh. Right, let's pull some of this crap out of the way. I'm talking to you like you can see what I'm on about. That's the stuff, there's some like sound deadening crap. Get rid of that because we're gonna have to pull a lot of it out of the way anyway, because we've got to weld some mount points to the floor, because we've got to change to electric throttle pedal as well. So let's get rid of as much of this. Ugh, that's probably full of asbestos. Everybody's foot dust from 20 years ago in my mouth. Right. Throttle pedal doesn't look too bad. This clutch pedal does not look easy. Right. I'm just trying to determine the best way about going about this. To be honest, I'm really not sure. Really not sure how to go about it. Oh, I'm stuck. Stop laughing. Old cable throttle pedal, which we won't be reusing. We do need to change to electric one. Absolutely gash. We can use a Mk4 Golf one, which does look better. So it depends how it fits in here. Absolutely sound that. We'll be able to modify that quite easily. Literally wants a little bit of a plate welding in, a plate on floor. Oh god, she's rusty here. Oh my god. Oh god, I wish I'd never pulled that carpet back. Oh. I do not want to show you guys what it looks like underneath this carpet. You know when you just wish you'd never pulled it back and looked. Oh my god, what is that mess?
Damn.
Christ, has that been welded? It has, look, it's all been welded before.
Looks like a volcano being down there, dried up.
That's one of them things I just wish I'd never ever seen. You know, you put so much work into a car and then you see an absolute mess like that, and you just think, oh wow. Doesn't look bad underneath that. I daren't push it. Shall I push it? See if it goes straight through. If it goes straight through, shall we abandon build? Oh, I daren't push it. Watch this. Does my finger go straight through this hole? It feels pretty solid. It's been welded before, hasn't it? And they've just made an absolute monster of a job. Do you know what? I never saw it. What rust? I never saw it. So, we're facing a massive predicament. At the moment, let me just get this to focus. 1 second, let's try and get you in the right spot. Right, so at the moment, if you can see that nut there and that nut there, That's our original clutch pedal mount at minute, but as I say, it's directly in line with turbo. So we can't mount the clutch master cylinder directly behind the pedal because it's just too long, it's just going to hit the turbo. But down this side, we've got some sort of inspection bung. Now this is, if you imagine it, it's at left-hand side. So what I've done here, this is the exact same length as what that is, just so I can use it as a bit of a template. If I mount that into back at bulkhead there, my reservoir pot will basically be there like that. So I'll be able to fill up my clutch reservoir pot. Don't get me wrong, this is crazy close to turbo, but it is the cold side. Or is it? It's kind of like in middle. So is it going to get hot? Yes, it is. Have I got any other choice? Not really, because there's no space in there to get any other type of clutch pedal operation in. So if I bolt this there, this is essentially to the left-hand side at clutch pedal. So I'll try and do you a bit of a demo, then I'll take your in car and show you. So you imagine that we're looking at this from now from inside car. My clutch pedal's here, push it down like that. That rod's going to be to the left-hand side of my clutch pedal. So what we're going to need to do is make something and weld it to the side at clutch pedal that reaches across and pushes that in as we press the pedal. But also another spanner in the works is steering column is in the way. So let me show you. Let's just shove that through that hole. Roughly, it'll obviously sit in 2 inch further than that, but it will be in that sort of position. Now let me take you inside and try and show you what I mean. Right, let me try and get you set up in here, see if you can see what I mean. Zoom out. Right, here's this clutch pedal. Let me try and get you in a better position. This is not easy. On the dashboard. Space is only big enough for just me, never mind you lot as well. Right, there's his original clutch pedal. We can't put anything behind it because it's straight into turbo where we're pointing. But if you could see, where that is, that's just sticking through that bung at the moment. I'd want it a little bit higher than that. And you can see sort of where my hand is there, where my fingertip is where the rod is. So we'd have to weld some sort of box to the side of this clutch pedal. So as we press the clutch pedal down, it also presses that rod in. I cannot see any better solution to this than doing that. Only other option would be complete aftermarket pedal box, but that's as much work as what this is, if not more, because then we've got brake bar to set up and all sorts of stuff, or even do away with. I think I've got a fighting chance of making this work. Now, it is not, I repeat, it's not going to be easy. In fact, I'm dreading it, and I've been dreading this for good reason, but I think first things first, let's get this cut out, this hole, and let's get that mounted where we want it, and as high as we can get it, and go from there, really. Oh, God. Why can't we just got a cable clutch gearbox? That'd have been so much easier. Let's get cutting. Let's get cutting. It's not going to do itself, is it?
This on the side of the road.
It's super comfy down there.
Like being in bed.
So what Connor's doing is, Connor's just disconnecting the steering column because we're going to try and pull it up and out of the way a little bit. So I'm cramped up in this footwell for your entertainment yet again. Just get camera where I want it. Right. Steering column's out of the way now, gives us a bit of access. There's the holes I need to drill, so I'm going to have to die grind that big one out, drill them other two. That will be as mounting holes, and then it becomes the hassle of what on earth we're going to put on the side of this clutch pedal to press it. So if it makes sense to you, what I'm going to try and do is try and put like some sort of lever on the side of this, so as you press the clutch pedal, it also presses the clutch master cylinder in. This might not work. This is the make or break for this build. If this don't work, I'll probably set fire to it. But we shall see. Let's get drilling. Next size up. Right, a little bit of progression. Bulkhead's drilled through, bolt holes are drilled through. Now we've just got to figure out how the heck we are going to link that clutch pedal to that. We need to make something that comes off the side of this pedal onto that. So as I press the pedal, it also presses that cylinder in. Now, in theory, that's easy. You just think, oh, Nath, you've got loads of space there. Easy work. Yeah. Oh, let me just get comfortable. No, because the steering shaft comes up here as well. So, let me try and get steering shaft back in. I can't do it with one hand with you guys in my other hand, but basically, yeah, this steering shaft sits through that hole there really close, so we've got to contend with that as well, because if it touches the steering shaft, you're going to feel it through the steering wheel, which will drive me off the clock. Can't be having that. So, I just can't express to you enough how much this is not an easy job. This is the most difficult part of the build, I reckon, getting hydraulic clutch to work. But I'll get there. Somehow, some way, we'll get there. Guys, I could cry. Could literally cry. Everything we've just done is absolutely for nothing. We've just put the steering shaft back on, and it's just too close. It's touching it. Oh my god. So we either need to try and move it to further to the right and then weld all holes up once the engine's back out, or we need to take that piston rod out, see if we can put an S-bend in that piston rod. But I can't see that working, in all honesty. Oh, I could cry, guys. This is horrible. This is a nightmare. This is a literal nightmare. So, here's what my plan was. To try and bend the rod and then bend it back. Sort of create like a... Let me just get you on tripod and I'll explain to you. Flip this round. So my plan was to sort of put like an S-bend in it. Come like that and then back. Now, I can't put it right down here because this rod is obviously a plunger and it has to go that far in like that. This rod's not going to be long enough, but I think if I get some round bar, take it down to size, thread it, and put an S-bend in it, maybe, just maybe, this might actually work to swerve around that steering column. I mean, it might be an epic fail, but it might also work. At the minute I'm panicking just because I'm thinking, how on earth am I going to do this if this don't work? I am proper panicking. See, it ain't got to be straight like that. If that were had an S-bend on it, it would still do the job. Oh, guys. This is the worst bit of this build. Let me make one of them, a longer version, see if it works. Right, guys, not sure if I'm an idiot or a genius. We'll see. This is what I've come up with. So I like machined that end down on lathe, got a ball finish on it, and then it didn't exactly fit right, so I just got it in drill and did it on linisher. So that was just originally a long bolt, but I don't see why this won't work. See, the problem I've got is I need to swerve around the steering column. I don't see why that won't do it. All it's got to do is push in like that. I'm going to assemble it and let's go and offer it up to the car. I think I might be a genius. We're about to see. Right, so here's version 1 of connecting that rod to this pedal. Might be an epic fail, might work absolutely amazing. So all this spring here is like what's used to be the self-adjusting clutch. So that spring can go, that top mechanism can go, we no longer need that. So I have machined this up. So the rod that we've made comes through, that bolts on. Now I've got to get it on this pedal, but a problem we're facing is the pedal doesn't just go straight back like that when you press it forward and back. As you press it, it cantilevers on top. So this changes angle. So this cannot be welded on there solid, because if you imagine that's on a pivot point and I push it, what's it going to be doing every time you press pedal? It's going to be pointing at roof at car every time. So this needs to be able to basically stay in the exact same spot but allow the pedal to move. So it needs to be able to go back but still twist like that. So the way that we're going to do it is I've machined this step on it. We're going to put the step through the other side and we're going to weld a washer on the back. Now that is a little bit big at the moment, it does need taking down a bit. What the washer will do is basically stop it coming off the pedal but it will allow it to spin as we press the pedal. This is the theory. Might be an epic fail, might not work at all, might be a complete fail, and we might end up burning the car instead. But it might work. Who knows? We'll see. So we need to take that down a little bit. So you want it to just stick through like that, don't you really? Then the washer wants to go on there and then fill it with weld, which is going to be difficult in itself because you can't really get in.
That wants to be able to move freely though, doesn't it?
Yeah, this needs to be able to spin.
So what I'm saying, so maybe.
But it can't be baggy. It can't be in and out movement like that. It can't be baggy. So after a bit of careful deliberation, I've decided that I'm not going to weld it. That's a bit of a monkey thing to do, welding it on. So I've drilled and tapped it instead. I feel like this will be a much better solution. Just for also, for instance, if anything ever fails, it'll be easy to unbolt. I can make a new one, etc, etc. If it's welded on there, it's kind of permanent. You have to start messing around, cutting it off, etc, etc. So just drilling and tapping it will be a much better option in my personal opinion. I don't know why I didn't think of this the first time round. Bottom that. Next one. This is a 3-piece tap set. You've got your main taper one, and you've got a next one, and then you've got your plug tap, the final one. Cuts mild steel like butter. Final one.
That way.
It's steel, isn't it?
That was right past that, didn't it?
Yeah, it's because these taps are that sharp and that old, that perfect. Look at them threads. Beautiful. Right, that's fully tight, look. But it still spins, which is exactly what we needed. You know what? This might actually work.
Right, you can go back on.
The clutch pedal now needs to go back on, which is a pain in the arse in itself. But as you press the clutch pedal now, look, the clutch pedal, this should have pivot. Right, so I tried to get this clutch pedal back in yesterday. Absolute nightmare job. There's about 1,000 spaces and space is tight, and we'll get pin in and get brake pedal lined up, and it's just, it's a nightmare. So I'm going to get it in now, because I don't know if this clutch works until I get that in. So let's get it in, see if it works. La 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 la. Wondering what on earth's happening here? Taking that pedal box out, because I cannot get that clutch pedal and brake pedal back in. Dash will be out in a minute. Get another minute or two, dash will be out.
It doesn't even look that hard to take dash out. Bolts there. 4 bolts at the top.
Bet you any money it ends up coming out in a minute.
Okay.
This pedal box looks alright to have to get out. Right, you can see it back of that. If you take clocks out, you can see it back at bolt. What that actually, no, that thing what's stopping me.
Yeah.
Right. How long do you reckon it's going to take me to snap this? 30 seconds?
Yeah. We're on 13 seconds on video now, so.
I reckon I can snap this by end of 30.
Could be having clocks delete and all. Replacement iPad.
Like Volvo, but Digi-Dash.
Samsung S3.
I can feel a snap. I can sense it. Whatever's holding that in there. That screw. Where's the screw?
What is it?
There's a screw there.
But the one on the other side and all.
Not that I could see. Alright, that's out. I wish I just got piles of screws everywhere. No one's ever going back in. Be a rate rattle box. Behind these clocks should reveal the magic 13, what's holding that bracket and what's causing me all this grief. I think. Look how many people have had this to bits of it. Here's like every screw's odd. Next one looks like a shed screw.
Or it probably they just probably chucked a load of bolts in because they didn't think that should ever be out on one of these.
That's not even a right screw. It's rounded out. Don't know what that's off. Oh, look at that. There it is, look. There's the two big bolts what are causing me all that pain. Well, we may as well take speedo wire out while we're here because
You need it.
no, we ain't got speedo drive anymore.
Alright.
It used to run a speedo drive off gearbox, which is no longer. So we may as well have that.
So we won't have a speedo anyway
There you
then.
go, look, there's your speedo.
Wait, so we won't have a speedo at all then
We're
no?
not going to have a speedo at the minute. No.
So what, how the fuck will we know or do we not know what speed we're going?
We're doing speed limit at all times.
We won't know what we're doing though.
Neither will police. We're doing speed limit at all times.
That just come out of here.
Yep.
Oh, that's useless then, isn't it? That's just straight in bin.
This is like
That's
90s,
your
this
speed.
is 90s technology. Look, Connor, Connor don't even know what I'm on about. This used to go into gearbox, and there's a driving gearbox what would spin this cable, and that's what spins clocks. So if we spin that with drill, speedo would go.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, that's how it works.
Oh, is that how they do that thing when they speed clocks back and stuff?
Yeah.
I've seen it on King Matilda.
Yeah. Right, there we go. We need 17 milliamp gun, and I reckon that bracket's going to fall out.
Is that foot bin? What of
Yeah,
that?
it's all scrap. All the problems will go When I buzz these out, this box is going to fall on the floor. Watch this. Try and keep everything together. I have literally got to put everything back. I've just bent that tab for now.
That was steering and all, isn't it?
Oh, of course it don't come out. Oh, get out my way. Get out my way. Right. What am I facing now? What other problems?
I reckon that once big cut down, them two bits
I
there.
am so close to just reset the dash. Get out.
Don't want to be the unlucky fucker that's got to put that back in.
Hang on. Now there's a cable tie holding brake switch on. Cut that cable tie there. I've got a picky, I'll snap it with that. Right, all that work was to get that out. Now I've got to reassemble pedals in it just because I just cannot physically do it under the dash. So I've got to find all that handful of bits, what I had, take it over to the bench and let's try and assemble pedals. Then I've got to get it back in with all pedals connected. Alright, there's a pedal, there's a pin, there's spacers, clips, all sorts of stuff. Oh my god, there were all sorts. It all just fell on my face last night when I took it out.
I've got a feeling it's designed to not go in as a whole thing.
Right, I'm missing some. There were other stuff. There were a big metal spacer. Right, let's put this back in here for the time. Just while we look at what we're doing. Right. Why am I missing everything? Oh, there we go. All stuck to the bottom of the torch. Right, there were another one of them. all that was for bolting it on. None of it were actually part of that. I'm missing something else. Another 10mm there. Don't know what that's for. Another bolt behind dash. Don't know what that's for. Right. Let's get out of here. Right, that just took way longer than it should have to get them back in there. All them pins and stuff. Absolute nightmare. But now we've got pedal box back assembled. Let's get it in car and see if our little clutch thing works. What do you think? Think it's gonna work? 50-50. Right. You guys have got a good view there. So, does the clutch pedal work? As I press it, does it press the clutch master cylinder in? Yes. Now it's not tight. Now can you see my little thing spinning as I press the clutch pedal? Look. See how my rod always stays in the same place? So that little thing what I did there with that spinning worked perfect. Now, the rod has not got enough for a bend in it, because as I press it, you see how it's grinding on the side of the housing. So we do need, it isn't tight at the moment. Pedal height, pedal height's a little bit lower than the brake pedal. So I have got adjustment. Now if I back that nut off and I pull it, he says, there you go, and I pull it, my pedals are the perfect height, but at that point, look, I've barely got any threads on that nut, which I do not like. So I do need to make a version 2 of that rod.
Version 3.
Sorry, version 3. Need to make a version 3 of that piston rod. But once that's done, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a working clutch pedal. Now, it is a contraption. Don't get me wrong, it is a contraption. You don't see it. If it works, and it's one of them things. Anyone, if you've got a better idea, come at me, because I have not.
Come and do it yourself.
Yeah, I'll pay you to come and do it if you've got a better idea, because I haven't. So steering column will fit on this, because it fit before. I haven't changed anything. I've just put pedal back on. So I just need to make a version 2 rod. I'm going to do a version 3 rod. Sorry, why do I keep saying version 2? I'm going to make a version 3 rod. I'm going to do that right now. Be back in a sec. One thing we have noticed is because the bulkhead on this is like wafer thin, when you're pressing clutch, bearing in mind it's not even connected to gearbox yet, it's not even got fluid in it, it's not even pressing the actual clutch in yet, it's flexing the bulkhead like massively. So we're going to make this like 3mm spreader plate. We're going to bolt that on inside, see if it adds a little bit of strength to it. I hope it does. Right, YouTubers, this is the first time I've failed on this build. Clutch is an absolute failure, doesn't work at all. You know, I've enjoyed doing everything on this build so far, like putting engine and alt fab work on it. I've enjoyed it. This is by far the worst bit of build, you know, trying to get this to work. I don't know how we're going to get around it yet, I honestly don't know. Just made some calls to Ben and stuff like that, see if anyone's got any other ideas, because sometimes you just have to walk away, go and do something else, and then just come back at it with a fresh mind and a fresh pair of eyes. And that's exactly what I've got to do in this situation, because it's an epic fail. It's not going to work. So in theory it all worked lovely, but now you've got clutch pressure there. I did worry about this, to be fair. Halfway through it I did start worrying, thinking, you know what, when this has got clutch pressure, is it actually going to work? The problem is now the pedal box itself is so flimsy. It's only made out of 1.5mm steel. The pedal itself so flimsy, it actually starts bending the pedal box before it starts pressing the clutch in. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I need to come up with another idea. Realistically, I need to come up with another idea. So we've got to either go after full aftermarket pedal box, but like I said, that brings its own problems, because then the brake bias bar is, I don't even know if it's called a brake bias bar today now, after my mindset. The big long bar what presses the brakes really from the pedal on these is a little weird setup. So you've got a pedal on driver's side, but then you've got a great big long like torsion bar what goes along other side at bulkhead. That's going to be a problem with an aftermarket pedal box. I don't know how to get around that. Yeah, this is by far the worst bit of the build. Fuel system will be a dream. I don't even think wiring's going to be that bad, but this is a nightmare. Just because of work turbos fell, it's just made everything a nightmare. Right. So, my first failure of the build, guys. You've seen it. I've not cut any bits out. You've seen it all raw as it is. We failed. There's no other explanation. So we're going to come up with a better. We're going to come up with a better solution. What that solution is at minute, I have no idea. Check back to part 9, I guess, and we'll see what we come up with. Thanks for watching my first failure, guys. You know, these things happen, don't they? I could have just cut all that out, never showed it you, and just showed you when I actually do sort it. Because I will sort it. I will come up with a solution. Don't worry about that. I'm not a quitter. It did knock my duck off today. It did really upset me with car and got mug on with it. But no, what is, that's life, innit? I will get it. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, like I say, I should have seen this failure coming a mile away. Watching this video back, I was just watching myself set up for failure. But, you know, you're just in the moment and you can't see a way around things. You just get bamboozled by stuff. Yeah, it just is what it is. But yeah, I said I'd show you the failure. I've showed it you in its entirety. I've not cut any bits out. You've seen it exactly as it were. So, thanks for joining me, guys. Catch me in part 9. Let's see if we can sort this problem out.